So, here we go. 2017 has come to it's coming to an end, and I'm shooting this video for you. This video is my 10 books of this year, and I'm going to say this here and now. This list was hell to make. There is no way around that. So I'm just going to dive in, and I'm going to give you my top 10. The only thing is I'm saving my favourite book for last, so that's the only clue I will give you. After Me Comes the Flood by Sarah Perry. Everyone goes to the Essex Serpent. I love the Essex Serpent, but this was her first novel. Amazing. That's all I can say. It is amazing. And yeah, there it is. Definitely, it's so different to the Essex Serpent as well, that I'm so thankful that the publisher sent me this. Thank you guys. I'm in love with this book. Pax. I can never say that word properly. The most charming and heartbreaking children's novel I've ever read in my life. It's beautifully written. It's about friendship. It's about a bond. It's about a bond between a boy and a fox, and it's so beautiful. I cannot. And with World War II being its backdrop, it's just stunning. The Comet Seekers. I fell in love with this book. I think it's beautiful. It's up there with The Cloud Atlas. Two souls across time whenever this comet is in the sky. And my God, this cover does not do it justice, by the way. It's one of the most interesting and beautiful books I've read in a long time. Just for fun, time travelling with a hamster. So let's talk about this. This is a children's novel, and it's the most endearing children's novel you can get. Basically, he has a chance to save his father's life, and he has a time machine, and it's actually heartbreaking in places, and it's so well done though. It's just beautiful. It really is. The Way of the Shadows. I've just got the other two books in this series. I got this from the library. I'm not a big fantasy person, but I fell in love with this. And yes, like I said, not all of these books come out this year, but they're ones that I've read. Ancient Bus Ticket, that I use as bookmarks. But yeah, definitely a different take on fantasy. So if you're into fantasy or want a different thing, do give this one a go. Joseph Knox, Sirens. I was fortunate enough to meet this guy at the Derby Book Festival. He is fascinating. I got my book signed. Very intelligent. Hearing him speak is fantastic. I fell in love with this. It's a crime novel. The detective is just as dysfunctional as the criminals, and I've never read a crime novel like this, and I'm looking forward to the second. So, Joseph Knox, Sirens. Do check this out. And yes, that's a Waterstones edition. The Strain. I'm not going to give too much away because I've talked about this book a few times, but I will say I love Guillermo del Toro, and definitely a different take on vampires. And I've read the full series of this, so it's definitely good. Thank you, John, for giving me this book, and this is signed as well, which I think is really cool. And yes, I'm a geek. The Nightblade. This was sent to me because he's a self-published writer, and my God, I was not expecting much, I won't lie, and then I read it, and to quote what I posted in the private group, it started an addiction. A really, really big addiction. So, there it is. I can tell you, this is fantasy like no other, and it's brilliantly done, and it's a real kick in the guts in the best way possible. The Beginning of the End of the World, in the Middle of the Night, by Jen Campbell. This is the ARC of the book. It's modern fairy tales, little short stories, these modern, dark, twisted fairy tales. I love it, and it did leave... It's so bizarre, in the best way possible. I love it, and I'm a huge Jen Campbell fan, so do check this one out. Finally, my favourite book of 2017. The award goes to The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. I cannot state how amazing this is and how long we've been waiting for it. And I cannot wait for book 2 and 3 because, my God. And I just want to say, pretty. It's one hell of a book, and it's such an epic journey. And the worlds and the characters, some familiar, some new. I completely went into this and I read it in a weekend, and this is a chunkster, so it's like, yeah. So yeah, they are my top 10 books of 2017. And I want to ask you guys, what are yours? What are your favourite books of this year? Please comment down below in the doobly-doo, because it's like, just comment, tell me, I'd love to know. And please check out all of my social media, as always, is in the down below as well. But I'd love to know what you guys think about these. If you've read any of them, what's your favourites, and so on. So please hit that like button, please subscribe, and yeah, I hope you guys have had an amazing 2017, and here's to an amazing and very bookish 2018. Bye. Yeah, they're that heavy. So, ow.